Can the contents of this box beat AirPods Pro for a quarter of the price? I'm Mark Dave, and I simplify Apple so that everything just works for you. And if you want the latest Apple news, leaks and rumours every weekday at 12 UTC, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and let's get into this box. I'm using a pentalobe screwdriver to open this because seems like the Apple thing to do. So, let's get past the scary battery label and see what we have inside. Oh, I almost forgot, there's actually two products in here. First of all, we have the UGREEN gallium nitride fast charger. This is a 100-watt charger, but we'll put that aside for later. This is the one we're interested in. This is the UGREEN X6 HiTune hybrid active noise cancelling earbuds. Earbuds. This is the HiTune hybrid active noise cancelling earbuds, the X6. So let's have a look. Now, I'm told that I am one of the first people in the UK to get these for review, so quite exciting times. Okay, plastic's off. We've got a little slide out on the case. That's quite nice. And then once we get into here, you've got a little card that shows all of the gestures. So you've got this little card that shows all of the gestures, how you can basically do everything with it. So you've got music mode. The interesting thing with these is they've got active noise cancellation built in. So let's have a look what we've got inside. A section of ear tips, and I'm guessing we've got one set on there. So 3 different sizes, the same as the AirPods Pro. And let's pop this out. Our little peel. So this is USB-C charging on the back, which is very nice. UGREEN logo there on the top. And let's have a look. Nice little light on the front, glossy black, and they look pretty nice. I would say these look very much along the lines of AirPods Pro, a little bit wider on the outside rather than the earbud tip, the stems that you would be used to. And it looks like they've got a little plastic over the charging terminals, so these might not actually be charged at this point. Let's pop that off now. I love the finish though. It's like a space grey kind of, maybe a little darker than space grey. The same as the AirPods, they are the right way round in here, which is good, because that'd be really annoying if they were reversed. I'm going to try these out over the next few days, then we'll come back. But first impressions, it's a really nice quality feel to it. It's got a good snap to the case. They're magnetically attached. The lid actually holds itself open, which I really like. I think this thing is in pairing mode, so I'm going to charge it up, pair it up with something, and give them a try. Okay, so it has been a week since I unboxed these things, and they've been my daily driver ever since, to the point where I actually managed to lose my AirPods because I hadn't used them for a week. And I've got to say, I'm pretty impressed. So, first up, build quality. These things feel really good. The materials are solid, the finish on the case and the earbuds themselves is nice, and everything feels solid. There's no creaks, no cracks when you're handling these. Case has got a really nice magnetic snap closure, but also it kind of importantly holds itself open nicely too, and the earbuds snap magnetically into the case in a really satisfying way. Though if I had one slight criticism in terms of the design, is that the smooth finish on the parts of the earbuds that you can reach when they're in the case means it's a little bit fiddly to get them out quickly and reliably. I feel like I fumble them a few times. One feature I really do like though is that the USB port on these is actually on the back of the case next to the pairing button and not on the base, which means that they stand up on your desk while they're charging. It's a small thing, but it's kind of satisfying. In terms of fit, in the past I've not been a huge fan of silicon tipped earbuds before. That's why I use the AirPods 3 on the daily and not the AirPods Pro. These, however, don't seem to give any kind of ear pressure from the tips, and they seal really nicely. They fit really nicely for me, and with the multiple tips, they should fit everyone pretty well. I was really surprised how comfortable they are, although there's a couple of times when I was actually removing them that the ear tips flipped inside out when I was taking them out of my ears. I do believe, though, you can actually get like foam tips. I've heard about these things, and apparently they're really, really good, and they're basically like a direct replacement for the normal like silicon earbud bits that you get, but they kind of form to your ears a bit more. May be good for some people. The outer part of the earbuds are really discreet and don't really protrude far at all, being as they are stemless. In terms of the sound on these, it's comparable to me with the AirPods 3, which many people have said are as good as the AirPods Pro. I'd say there's slightly less bass compared to the AirPods, but the difference for me is pretty slight. I was very impressed given the price difference, and the fact that these have ANC too, which we'll come to shortly, means that they're a pretty good buy. All in all, the sound is pretty great. If you wear these and notice that the bass feels a little bit empty though, reseat them into your ear, make sure that the seal is good, and that's basically cured every issue for me that I encountered using them. Now, I personally listen to more podcasts and spoken word than I do music, though I have listened to a good variety of music too. The only thing I'd mention is that Apple seems to think you're listening to higher volume than it feels like with these, so you might get high volume warnings from your iPhone, even though listening to AirPods at a comparable volume doesn't prompt you. Just my experience, and your mileage may vary. The microphones are perfectly serviceable for making calls and receiving calls, and here's the audio if you record into a video so you can judge for yourself here. So just to give you an idea, this is the kind of audio that you would get over calls, or if you're making a video using these earbuds. In terms of interface, interacting with the X6 earbuds is through pressing the outer side of the buds themselves, and this is one of the things I'm slightly less impressed with, if anything, though once you get the hang of it, it does actually work fine. You press to play or pause on the outside of the bud, press and hold for a second to activate the ANC. Those are just fine, they work really well, although sometimes readjusting your earbuds in your ear can activate the play and pause function, and there's no audible click or haptic feedback or anything like that with these. I would say that's completely understandable at this price point, but nonetheless it was something that felt a little bit missing for me. I had slightly less luck with the other controls, double tapping for volume up and down, triple tapping to skip for example, but in all honesty these are things easier controlled via your phone or your Apple Watch, so I didn't really mind. Didn't make too much difference to me in the real world. ANC. This blew me away. All honesty, genuinely very, very impressed. There's absolutely zero hiss, there's zero difference in the audio quality when turning on ANC, but a massive reduction in the background noise. Now, while I don't recommend wearing earbuds with ANC on while you're driving, as a great test for these, I wore them while driving my wife's Mini convertible with the top up, which is a fairly noisy car. Did it completely silence the outside noise? No, but it was a massive reduction in sound. Walking around a supermarket with these and switching on the ANC made me feel like everyone had just stopped talking. It's eerie. Here's how it sounded. This is the best kind of simulation I can make of the difference that it made in the car. Now, I do hear that some people's experience of using active noise cancellation feels like a kind of pressure level in your ears, but I'd say I didn't experience this at all. There was no indication of that to me. The only time I'd say to avoid the ANC setting is if there's a lot of wind, if it's a bit windy outside, because the microphones that compensate for outside noise tend to get a little bit overwhelmed by the wind whistling through them. So just switch it off when you're out in windy conditions, and the actual seal of the headphones does a pretty good job of keeping things nice and quiet. In terms of looks and durability, I like these things. They're discreet, I wear a lot of blacks and greys in my general wardrobe, so they match really well. The X6 doesn't seem to be trying to be anything that it isn't. They're not copying anyone else's style, and I actually really like that. They're just trying to be their own thing that looks good. There are enough AirPods clones out there already, and I've not been gentle with this case over the past week. They've been in my pockets with keys, coins, the usual life stuff, but there's no visible marks or wear on this, whereas the shiny white plastic of AirPods does tend to pick up micro scratches and starts to look grubby where dirt gets into these micro scratches pretty quickly. In terms of battery life throughout the week, I think I've charged these once. I've not done direct battery tests running them to empty, but with commutes, walks to take the kids to school and things like that, I've encountered no issues. And don't worry, I only wear the headphones when I'm on the way back. I don't wear them while taking children to school, but I have to leave them there sometimes. Basically, in real life, these work absolutely great, and they've never got to the point where the case light, which breathes white like a lot of classic Apple devices, would turn red to request charging. That's pretty good going. And the extra little lifestyle bits. So when it comes to the Apple ecosystem stuff, that's what's missing from these for me. Of course, you don't get things like Hey Voice Assistant, you don't get automatic device switching, and you don't get the magical setup that you get with AirPods. But you can still call on your voice assistant and it will work, just not over your earbuds. Your phone will pick it up from outside. Many people turn off the active device switching on their iPhones with AirPods as well because it gets annoying. It can sometimes just switch devices randomly while you're watching something because you pick up your phone to check Twitter, or For me, it tended to be when my kids were watching something on my iPad, my AirPods would switch over to them. But these are minor things, especially when you think that these are around £60 a set, over £100 less than the AirPods 3, or almost £200 less than the AirPods Pro, which you'd need if you wanted ANC from Apple. And that's a value that's really hard to overlook. The ANC is amazing. So just for clarity, I've not been paid to make this video. I've been sent the earbuds, and we've also got the UGREEN GAN fast charger, gallium nitride, 100 watts, 4 ports of fast charging. So you can use this for a MacBook, you can use it for iPads, iPhones. You've got a USB-A port on here as well. And inside, it's very simple. This thing is chunky though, it's a heavy boy. Just like with the headphones, you've got a really nice finish to these. 100 watts of gallium nitride charging, and I love the finish on this thing. It just looks so premium. It's basically a nice space grey kind of finish that we've got on here, which also matches the earbuds. So would I recommend this stuff from UGREEN? Yes. This thing is an absolute beast of a unit. Obviously this is the UK version. There's going to be American versions of this as well, and European versions, and I will make sure that the links are down in the description for you. So just for clarity, I've not been paid to review these, I've not been paid to make the video. I have been sent the products for free to review, and I do get to keep them. That's the whole agreement. These blew me away, especially the ANC. Very, very impressed. This, I mean, you can't get much more solid than this thing. The size of this for a 100-watt charger is just unbelievable, and it looks good too. So why would you not? These things are great. And I'll be honest, I'd never encountered UGREEN in terms of their products before this video. They were doing a really cool retro Apple campaign a few weeks, maybe a couple of months ago. And that was the first encounter that I had with them. But I'm going to keep my eye out for these guys. They've got some really good stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.